Good morning, everybody. So with today's video, 10 really good cheapy designer fragrances. These are going to be more so for the spring and summertime. Some of these might do better in the springtime, while some might do better in the summertime. Some of these might be a little bit too warm for the spring, or if it's like the warmer spring, some of these summer fragrances might do fantastic. All right. So just please forgive if I got to hold the mic. I don't know where the little clip is. I lost it in Puerto Rico and I got to get a new one. And I really want to have better audio for this video. And these are going to be more cheapy in like US currency because our dollar ain't doing all that great. So in time it will. But first one is going to be Lacoste L1212 Blanc Intense. This is a really good fragrance. Now, when I reviewed this one a couple years ago, and I believe it was a decant, I'm like, this is a cash grab. This is just a waste of money. This is actually really nice. And what really makes this a nice fragrance is going to be the cardamom accord. The cardamom just warms this up, and cardamom is one of my favorite notes. But there's also the turmeric that warms this up. There's a lot of mandarin orange. There's going to be lavender, some sage. The base has leather, which I don't get. There's also going to be patchouli. There's also going to be vetiver and sandalwood. For the most part, it's just like a warm, spicy citrus with lavender and with a little bit of woods. It's more of a spring fragrance, but this can do pretty good in the summertime. I would say probably more so of a summer night out. This is more casual than anything. You could rock it to work, sure. It's a great school fragrance, but because of like the cardamom and maybe the turmeric to a lesser degree, it has this sexiness, this playfulness, but it's just fun and laid back. Fragrance number 2 is going to be more of a spring fragrance, and I would say more mature. It was actually launched in 96 or 98, so definitely an older one as well, but damn good. La Lique pour Homme. This has a lot of woods. It's got vetiver, it's got iris. I don't really get the iris, but some people do, and like some people are going to get that powdery iris dry down. Again, I don't, but a lot of vetiver, a lot of woods, such as cedar and sandalwood. There's also going to be oak moss, there's lavender, a lot of citrus of tangerine, bergamot, grapefruit. There is going to be rosemary to add a little bit of an herbal touch. Just overall woody, citrusy. This is a great masculine fragrance, kind of like traditional masculine, like back in the day where they knew how to dress, conduct themselves like gentlemen, but when it was time to throw down, they knew how to get busy. This for me is what that fragrance kind of is. It's old school, but at the same time there's this modern touch. For me, it's super versatile, it's signature scent worthy, but for an older guy out there. Next fragrance, if you are feeling lethargic, you need a kick in the ass, you need an energy boost without the caffeine, a pep to your step, Azatochrome Aqua. This just has a lot of basil. It's got a lot of mint. It's got green apple along with cypress, violet. It's got some grapefruit. Just super vibrant, green, energizing. The fruit, like the apple, does add a little bit of a sweet fruity vibe, and the apple itself is a little bit crisp, but loads of mint with a little bit, like there is a lot of basil, but I would say the main player is going to be that mint, and that itself is what energizes the hell out of you. You are going to get the violet to add this a very aromatic touch, but just a phenomenal fragrance. Next fragrance is the epitome of cheapy. This brand itself is actually kind of luxurious when it comes to their couture, I think they're haute couture. Well, from what I've seen at the Holt Renfrew boutique, a lot of their shoes and bags are quite pricey, but their fragrances are dirt cheap. Jimmy Choo, Man Ice. This is very, and I mean very invigorating, very much like the Aqua, which is on the floor, so I'm not going to reach for it, but just energetic. It's clean. There's a lot of crispness, so you're going to get a lot of citron. You're also going to get bergamot, mandarin orange. There is apple, like a Granny Smith apple, to add this fruity nuance as well. A lot of musk. The musk itself is clean. It's fresh. But you're also going to get a lot of ambroxan, moss, with a little bit of vetiver and cedar. This gets comparisons to Dior Sport, I believe, or it might be Dior Cologne. Those two fragrances alone are phenomenal. This is actually quite nice. The only drawback, though, is the performance is kind of shitty. Like, I'm talking like 3-4 hours at the most. You might get 2, but the scent itself smells divine. Like, I don't know if divine is really the word that I use to describe it, but it does smell very, very good. It's every day, it's school, it's work, it's white t-shirt and jeans. You're having some beers with your buddies, or you're out with the family having dinner on the patio. That is what this is. Next scent was actually launched in 2003, and I wish that this brand would make fragrances like this, but no, not anymore. Carolina Herrera Chic for Men. Unfortunately, a lot of their fragrances are kind of like I kind of feel like the brand itself is more for the younger guys. They're lightning bolt fragrances, like the Bad Boy lineup. What else? Like, they also got like their yearly releases. They're really more for the young guys. This does have a little bit more of a mature feel. This is fresh. There is this really nice, juicy watermelon accord. You're also going to get lemon and bergamot. There is warm spices of cinnamon, cardamom with a little bit of black pepper. The base is quite woody with sandalwood. There's going to be cedar with tonka bean and a nice clean musk. This fragrance is just like a very clean, woody fragrance with a lot of citrus, but more warm spices. That cardamom and that cinnamon accord, beautiful. This is more of a spring fragrance for me, and it's a great work fragrance. Next one was launched in 2002, and it's a great spring fragrance from the brand of Calvin Klein, and that's going to be Calvin Klein Truth. This is a very woody fragrance with a little bit of warm spice. That warm spice is going to be cardamom. You're also going to get some basil, some green leaves, fern resin, patchouli, and red cedar. For me, this is just like a green, woody fragrance with a little bit of cardamom. Great scent. The bottle itself is a little, it's a little different, really. And the sprayer is going to be on top, but oh yeah, see, this is the epitome of spring because of that green smell. Oh my goodness, it is so nice. Like, it's a cold or rainy day. This is a great spring fragrance, and it does kind of smell like the early 2000s, and I'm okay with that. It was a simpler time, but young guys, you can absolutely rock this. Next fragrance was actually launched in 2018. It's a little classical, but with a modern touch. This is a phenomenal fragrance though, and I'm glad that I ended up getting a bottle because wow. Rochas Mustache Original 1949. This, it really does have that classical DNA, but just with a modern touch. You're going to get a lot of lemon and bergamot with a lot of fresh lavender. You're going to get some neroli, a violet that does add this aromatic feel. The base itself is mossy with musk and patchouli. Just overall, lemony, fresh lavender, musky with a little bit of woods, and a little bit of, like, I gotta state, a little bit of that violet. So I'm my mind is going a little bit today, but just very energetic from the atomizer, and I get it more from the atomizer on skin. You get this candy-like lemon, but it's nice. Like, the lemon is just, it's bright. I don't want to say it's tart, but there is a little bit of sourness there. And it just really uplifts this fragrance. It really energizes this fragrance. This is classy. This can go very well with a suit and tie, a tuxedo, but as well with just like a preppy sense of style for the spring and summertime. Like, really summertime, but most certainly warmer spring days. Next one is going to be from the brand of Vince Camuto. Listen, I know a lot of people complain about the performance, but if you can get 4 to 5 hours, that's pretty decent. And this fragrance here is actually a great green, energizing, spicy fragrance, and that's going to be Vince Camuto's Eterno. I thought I had the Vince Camuto I originally did, and I'm looking at it right now, but it looks like I ended up taking that one out for something else without even remembering. See, old man brain. But you're going to get a lot of citrus. There's a lot of energizing mint, saffron. The saffron and the mint combination, oh my lord, it really make this a beautiful fragrance. You're also going to get some bourbon pepper, cedar, and patchouli. But green herbal, just energizing mint. Warm spices with the woods. This, fantastic. It's great for the springtime. It's everyday, school, work, and just for the sake of wearing a fragrance. Next fragrance, I would say it's a great spring fragrance, but more early spring, like the transition from winter to spring, but I would say also a great fall fragrance. Lagerfeld Classic Gray or Gray Classic. This is a great scent. It really is. Like, I was shocked by it. The bottles themselves I find are they look dated in all honesty, but the scent itself I find is very appealing. There's a lot of bay leaf along with lavender. You're going to get some oak, cedar, sandalwood, so definitely a lot of woods, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of moss. And what makes this a little bit different is going to be the hazelnut. The bay leaf adds a little bit of a spicy accord. Of course, the lavender, the woods. But the hazelnut in this is kind of nice. It's not in the forefront, but more in the background. Kind of like when you're driving a car and it's just in the backseat, enjoying its ride, just kind of quiet. But just a great, classy scent. Yeah, it's a little old school, but it has this modern touch to it. This is a gentleman's fragrance. For me, this is suit and tie. This is a great office fragrance. And I think that this might resonate more so with the older guys out there. This is a great unisex scent that kind of leans a little bit more towards the ladies, but this old man, who is not exactly the most masculine, really does enjoy it. Mugler's Blow It Up. This has sorbet. It's got blackcurrant along with vetiver. Yeah, that sorbet just adds this creamy nuance. That blackcurrant adds this fruity, a little sweet, if you will, and the vetiver itself is going to be that backbone. For me, this is just a summer scent or like a warmer spring scent along with summertime. It's a fun fragrance. This would be a great school fragrance for a young person out there, but as well, it's like a casual night out in my opinion. So like if you're already settled down, like you've been with your partner, whether you're a young guy or an older guy, and you're just doing like a casual outing with your partner, this is just a great scent. This is also a great school fragrance. So if you're a young person, this is a great school scent. Like I'm talking like high school, but probably a little bit more college. And last but not least, number 11, the bonus. I ended up taking this one out, as I said, so let's bring it back in. Vince Camuto. This is a great scent. It's pretty much woody from top to bottom. You are going to get a lot of juniper berries. The juniper berries is the main player for me. But there's also going to be like cedar, there's birch, there's cypress, so very woody. There's going to be lemon, there's going to be like ozonic notes or aldehydes. I think fennel, I might be wrong, but as well, there's going to be gin. I really like, and maybe it's the combination of like the juniper berries and the gin to add this sparkling, slightly effervescent, and maybe it's the lemon on top of it with all three. But I really like this fragrance. It's more of a spring fragrance than summertime, but you can wear it in the summertime because I've worn it and I've reviewed it. I reviewed this one with Cody Drakduck when he came up here in the summer of 2017. That was a great weekend, and there's not a lot of guys like content creators who came up. There was him, there was Coach Rob, and as well Radolescent. So really not a lot of guys, unfortunately. But this is just a great scent for springtime. If you are going to wear it in the summertime, I would say more of an office fragrance where there's going to be the AC, just because the woods might be a little strong for the hot summertime. But there is this freshness about it. This is kind of like a manly man type of fragrance. If you like woody, sparkling gin and everything, this is something that you really might want to check into. And guys, that is 10, really 11 really good cheapy designer fragrances, more spring and summertime with maybe one, it's on the floor for the fall as well. So guys, any reviews that I've done on these fragrances, they will all be in the description box below. I haven't talked about all of them. I am in the works of doing so. I'm also in the works of getting a new clip. But if you like this list, if you like this video, please drop me one of these. It does show YouTube and the algorithms that you like this type of content. So what videos to watch next? Well, whatever pops up here or here. So I think it's time to take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.